Hey guys, Matt Lloyd here with another episode of Ask Matt Lloyd. Today I've got a very good question, and it's a good question because a lot of people struggle with this, and I need to set the record straight on this question because it's very important. So the question is from Doug Clark, and Doug, thank you for the question. He's asked, Matt, I don't have the resources to get started. Should I just quit before I get started or owe any more money? Okay, so basically Doug is asking, I don't have the resources to get involved in a business right now. Should I just quit before I even begin? And Doug, if I'm going to answer this question with the intention of really helping you and anyone else who has this question. So I'm going to be quite upfront about it, but please understand that's my intention to help you. So the truth is, if you want to become an entrepreneur, if you want to go down that path of becoming a business owner, entrepreneur, and give up the path of working some job, you cannot talk like this and you cannot have this kind of mindset, because if you do, you're not going to last at all. Okay, and the reason is being an entrepreneur is really about solving problems. Lack of funding, lack of resources, those are just simply problems. And no true entrepreneur ever let lack of funding prevent them from getting started. Okay, that's very important that you understand that. There's no such thing in my book as lack of resources. Okay, you can always go and find the resources. Someone once said to me, and it's always stuck with me, they said, it's not about being a person of resources, it's about being a resourceful person. And what that means is, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you've got to be the sort of person who you will find a way no matter what. No matter what challenge is in front of you, whether it's lack of money, whether it's one of the many challenges that you have as you build your business and you scale it, you cannot let challenges stop you. You always have to find a way around them. So for example, if you think that not having some money should stop you, or should it let you stop you, the answer is no. If you want to be a true entrepreneur, go and find the money. Now, when I say that to people, sometimes it frustrates them because they say, well, Matt, it's easy for you to say you've got money, but you really don't understand my situation. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter what your situation is. Okay, I know that might sound a little bit, again, I'm aware of how people might be interpreting this. Whatever your situation is though, you can always, if you're a true entrepreneur, or if you want to become a true entrepreneur, you can always go and find the money. Let me give you an example. So after I was 18 years old, and I went backpacking around Canada, okay, for about 8 months. So there I was, I spent almost a year on the road in Canada, and I spent just about all of my money. So I get back to Perth, Australia, I go to university, and I don't have a lot of money, okay, and I want some money. So what do? Okay, I've got a few choices. I can say, well, I can go and get a job and I can go and make $12 an hour or whatever it is, and that can just be my reality. Or I can go and create my own way of making money. Okay, I can go and create something that will bring me money. So what I did is I decided I was going to start a little lawn mowing business. Okay, so here's what I did. I printed off all of these flyers that said that I was willing to help mow lawns, clean gardens, clean houses, all of those little jobs around the house. And I even came up with a name for my business. It was called Home Helpers, okay? I didn't register a business or anything like that. I just went and made the flyers, okay? It was about that big. I printed off about 200 of them, and I walked around and I handed them all out. I put them in mailboxes around our local neighborhood. So again, about 200. Took me maybe a couple hours to hand them all out, okay? So I had the idea, write the ad, a few hours later, I'm on the road, I'm handing them out. Now, about 2 days later, after getting absolutely no phone calls, one guy does call me, this older gentleman called Alan. He was the former CEO of a big insurance company, I found out later. Very nice guy, and he calls me and he says, I'm interested in having you come and mow my lawns. So I think, great. I travel to his house, it's about 5 minutes away. I mow his lawns, clean his garden, and I just have a great attitude about it. I work very fast, I get it done, and he sees that I'm definitely a hard worker. And he says, great, would you like to come back and do this every week? And I say, sure. And he paid me about, I think he paid me about $30 or $40, something like that, for about, I think it was about 3 hours. So I go back and, over time we start to become friends. And I think the second or third time I go back, I say, Alan, do you have any neighbors who might have some kind of work for me that I could do, mow their lawns and things like that? And he says, of course. So the next time he actually introduces me to several neighbors. Okay, so before I know it, I have 3 or 4 clients, and then I get those people to refer their friends, their neighbors to me. I ended up, I would have my classes in the day, but whenever I wasn't doing my classes, the rest of the time I was gardening, I was mowing lawns, I was cleaning toilets, I was doing every little odd job that these wealthy people in this area didn't want to do. And I was getting paid cash. And sooner than later, I was getting paid, I would wash a car and it would take me an hour and a half, and I learned to charge per job instead of per hour, because you could make more money that way. So I would say, look, I'll clean your car for $50. I'd get it done in an hour and a half. Now I'm getting $50 for every 90 minutes of work. So before I knew it, I was making very good money, over $1,000 cash in hand every week, working part-time while I was going and doing my studying. Now, that's just the way I've always done things. If I want to go and make money, I find a way to go and make money. So when people come to me and they say, Matt, it's good for you, but I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, or something like this. My answer is, really, okay, be honest with yourself. Are you actually being honest with yourself? Is it that you don't have the time, or you don't have the money, or is it because you simply haven't really sat down and deeply thought about how could you find the money, or how could you find the time? If someone asks this about MOBE, for example, they're thinking about getting started in MOBE, and let's say they want to get the MOBE License Rights Program because they want to make $1,000 commissions. Now that's a $2,000 investment, and often, we have people that say, well, I don't have $2,000. But really, if you are serious about starting a business, can you not go and find $2,000? You think $2,000 is a lot of money? It's really not. It's not a lot of money in the scheme of things. What could you do to go and raise $2,000? Forget about MOBE. It could be any business that you want to start. Can you really not go and find some money to start that business if you really put your mind to it? I mean, especially if you're living in the Western world. I mean, if you live in Australia, America, the UK, any country like that, the truth is, it sounds a little bit harsh, but we don't have the right to make excuses about not being able to go and find the money. I mean, we are incredibly lucky to live where we live and have all the opportunities around us. So if you are resourceful enough, you will always find a way to make it work. Okay, so I hope that answers the question, and I'll see you in the next episode.